All right. Welcome this week to our Next Level Live. Each week we are bringing you live interviews with powerful leaders so you can be inspired into reaching your next level in life. This evening we have special guest Mark Shapiro. Mark
Woo!
is give it
Oh,
up.
I'm pumped.
He's the former Showtime Networks executive. He's also a relationship building expert and the founder of the LoveBomb app, which I will let you tell us all about. You're also a TEDx speaker, and you are on a mission to create a less lonely and more loving world. Awesome. Round of
Yeah, it sounds
applause.
terrible, right? Big mission,
Sounds
though.
terrible. Big vision. Oh my, and you've been at this for a while, like committed.
I have, and it's been just such a source of joy and purpose, and definitely challenged every single day. So, continuing to stay grounded and connected to my vision, and in my purpose, standing in responsibility, leadership to get me through any little obstacles that come my way, and there have been many.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, life on planet Earth can be there's
Right? What is
adult
going on
adult
right now?
with obstacles. But I mean, having a vision makes it so much easier to be clear on like where your true north is, at least. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so I met you about, I'm gonna say maybe like 5, 6 years ago out in LA. I
I
came
think
to a
so.
workshop
Yeah,
that you were doing. Yeah, I think you had just graduated the PhD program out
I
on the West
did.
Coast. Yeah, and I came to your special, we call it FIT here, facilitator and transformation.
Okay.
But I think I took actually photos at
You
your
did.
at
You took
your
some great photos. I think I had like a big bushy beard at that point. So I'm equally as
you
hairy
totally
as you
did.
can all see, but not quite as big of a beard.
Totally. And you were just stepping out at that point from
Hmm.
corporate America, yeah?
Wow. It seems like so long ago, like a whole lifetime ago. I mean, I feel like even dating back to this February before the pandemic seems like a lifetime ago, let alone 5 years ago.
Was it only? I feel like it was, yeah, it was at least 5 years ago, and it
You
does
know,
feel like a total lifetime ago. And
yeah,
wow,
I
yeah,
that
go
must have
ahead,
been
sorry.
November 2014, I want to say.
14, 15, something around that.
Yeah.
I think I was out in LA around 2014. So yeah,
Yeah.
6 years ago. Wacky stuff.
Crazy.
So tell us about your journey. Like, how did you get into transformation? Have you always been like a world changer, just like, seeing the possibilities that nobody else sees? Or tell us about your journey.
Yeah, honestly, thank you for asking me that question. And I wish the answer would be yes. And I feel like deep down inside me, I always had this, vision to create a kinder and more connected world. It's definitely something I always longed for and yearned for, I think, just internally in my own mind, in my own heart. But at the same time, I was very much a follower, a people pleaser, and
Mm.
didn't have a lot of confidence. I had a lot of friends growing up, had a lot of passions, but kind of always wondered what my role was in the world and kind of how I fit in with others. And as a result of some of those kind of limiting, negative, self-sabotaging beliefs, naturally, I didn't think as much was available for me in terms of leadership. I had like high ambitions for my life, and I had faith that it would all work out. But I don't know if I'd go as far to say like, oh, I think I can potentially, make a super duper positive impact in the world.
Sure. How small we hold ourselves, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, beautiful. So the journey to where you are now, you've been a long time out in LA. You were always kind of involved in entertainment and media in some sort of a way,
Mhm.
and now you've parlayed that into really like making a difference through your Love Bomb app. Yeah.
Thank you. Yep, doing my best to make an impact. Yeah. So after college, I got a job in corporate America. Doing what I thought I was supposed to do and what I did want to do at the time. I think it was a great first job out of college, and I was really good at it. I cared about TV. I watched a lot of TV at that time, and kind of rose up the ranks at Showtime. And then some stuff started happening in my life. An 11-year romantic relationship and marriage came to an end. And
Oh,
it was at that point that a friend of mine enrolled me into MITT in Los Angeles. And, I
yeah.
started asking myself the important questions like, what do I want? And someone in my face asking me that question 100 times in a row with increased volume every time. And, I felt like that was a question that I hadn't asked myself. And I found it to be incredibly liberating. And I found that transformational work and taking responsibility for my life and identifying where I was showing up as a little bit of a victim and, in my own stories and limiting beliefs and self-doubts and so forth, that it was at that point that I made a powerful choice in my life to live authentically. And that's kind of the path that I went down with the workshops that I facilitated and the Are You Being Real podcast, which I released 250 episodes of, and coaching and so forth. So I definitely never saw that coming. But once I found this, this opportunity, like this idea to live authentically, get that, right? How crazy the concept that is. But honestly, I was so lost in the matrix and so concerned about what other people thought and living based off the expectations of my parents and my friends and others that I had really dialed down my internal compass. So it was very empowering for me to find transformation, and have to say I had no confidence at the start of that either, but it was really just taking it one step at a time and focusing out and serving others that really supported me and seeing like, wow, I can actually do this. And not only that, but I'm good at it. And what else is available for me? What additional impact can I make? What else do I care about? So it's been kind of one step, in front of the other with no certainty as to where I'm going, just, wearing my heart on my sleeve and doing the best that I can do every single day and managing the breakdowns.
Totally. And I love that you started at that level of authenticity, right? Like, that's a great question for people to ask themselves. Like, are you actually being real right now? And it's so interesting too, because out in LA, obviously there's plenty. I mean, there's so many masks out in that city. There's also so much authenticity and so much amazingness as well. I think it gets a bad rap to a certain degree, but that question of starting with us authentically, like, are you being yourself? Is this the greatest version of you that you're bringing to the table? And then moving out from there into really making a difference and healing the world, it sounds like.
Thank you. It's no small task. And, as any entrepreneur who's listening knows, entrepreneurship and doing something that's never been done before is certainly not for the faint of heart. So being tested on the daily, but I feel very fortunate to be able to live my dream and to follow my heart. And it's a great honor to be on this journey. And grateful to be where I'm at today.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And you just can we talk a little bit about your personal setup? Okay. Sure. You just had a baby. Yes.
I did. I have a beautiful baby daughter, Willow, who is 11 weeks old. And it's always been a dream to become a dad. And I'm 38. So I'm no super young chap, at least. I'm so grateful. I love her so much. She brings so much joy to every single day. And just making eye contact with her, experiencing her smile, that connection, that oxytocin, like it lights me up. It's the way I start every day now. And Willow's just given me just even more purpose that I already had to make a kinder and more, connected, better world for her and everybody else who's in Gen Z to grow up in.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big order, right? It's a big order. Beautiful. So will you tell us about first of all, I love the name.
Thanks.
So I'm so happy that it wasn't taken already. Like, that's awesome.
I was shocked, to be honest with you.
You're like, that is a sign from the universe.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so LoveBomb is this app that's going to be soon released on the App Store, and a special opportunity for everyone at Next Level is, a little special opportunity.
Nice. We love those.
We currently have some early access. If you want to be one of the first people to download the LoveBomb app and to shower your favorite people with kindness and appreciation.
Beautiful.
LoveBomb.app is our website. You can sign up right there. And since I'm wearing all the hats with the app, I will be the one who sends you the welcome email and helps get you all set up. But LoveBomb is really cool. And let me just take a step back and we'll look at the state of the world today. And let's rewind even past February. And the reality is loneliness and disconnection has been a problem for a long, long time. And the former Surgeon General of the USA, Dr. Vivek Murthy, he wrote this great book, Together, which is all about loneliness. But as the Surgeon General of the United States, one of the biggest issues that kept coming up every single day for him was this massive pandemic or epidemic of loneliness. And oftentimes when we think about our health, we think about cancer and we think about AIDS. And yes, these are terrible, terrible diseases and terrible problems. But oftentimes loneliness, like it has such a, deeply personal meaning for everybody. Some people embrace the word loneliness. Some people are like, oh, I don't feel lonely. And we all experience, like disconnection or social isolation, even if we're like super busy at work, pounding away at our computer and not in close contact with our friends and our families. So loneliness takes so many shapes and forms, and social media certainly doesn't help. It can be like a nice gateway of creating a nice quick hit of connection. You post something on Instagram stories and someone drops you a DM and you have that quick moment of connection. But is that meaningful connection? Maybe sometimes yes, maybe sometimes no. Who are the people that we're even engaging with on social media? So I think kind of all of this plays into this larger loneliness issue. 70% of people report having felt lonely or disconnected in the last year. And that stat was before the coronavirus pandemic. So it was very loud and clear to me, Alexa, that there was a tremendous and huge need and opportunity for a tool. Our smartphones help us out in so many different areas of our lives. Shouldn't there be a tool that helps us be really clear about who's important to us, building a list of the people we care most about and that we want to keep most in touch with, and that actually helps us keep in touch with these people with consistent touch points, thoughtful messages that allow us to not only nurture those connections, but deepen and sustain those connections so we experience more joy and connection in our daily lives.
Awesome.
So that is LoveBomb. I
love that. Okay, cool. So I wanted to post the link, the URL, but I'm actually not. So it's lovebomb.app.
Yeah,
you might have to put in a double P.
Double P. You might have to put in a www or an HTTP in there. But if you go to that site, you'll be able to.
Oh, here we go. I apparently don't know how to spell app, so that was the breakdown on my end. So I'm going to post it right here.
It is late in the day on a Tuesday.
I know it's been a long week so far. Yeah. Beautiful. So we have a couple people watching. So guys, if you're watching and you have any questions, feel free. This is an interactive experience. So if anybody has questions or comments, you can post those in the chat and we will answer you. Beautiful. So I want to speak into, because I actually a couple of years ago received a beautiful, and you did it again this year. I think you've done it 3 years in a row where you
sent me. When's your birthday?
July 26th.
Okay, so
very recently.
You've probably gotten 4.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Well, so you started doing this lovely video reach out message to people that maybe you were a little bit less connected to, a little bit more connected to. You and I tangentially knew each other.
Right.
But it was such a cool thing to receive, because I honestly, I don't normally receive videos from people that I don't know that well. And it just I felt connected. I felt really wow, this person went out of their way to make a difference for me on my special day. And so was that something that was the genesis of the LoveBomb app? Did that have something to do with it?
100%. So
okay.
Quick backstory for everyone who's tuning in is my dad passed away. He passed away at the age of 67 after a very long battle with young onset Alzheimer's back in 2017. 2017. And anyways, I had really shared a lot about his journey with Alzheimer's, publicly on my Facebook. And when he passed away, and I made a post about it on Facebook, I was just, my feed, my DMs were just flooded with love. And to me, that really showed the power of social media. I just threw a little jab at social media a couple minutes ago, but there are tremendous benefits in terms of, crowdsourcing and, getting our birthdays celebrated and so forth, keeping in touch with people that we probably would have forgotten existed if it weren't for social media. But when my dad passed away and I got all these messages, I wanted to respond to people, and people who actually took time to write out a thoughtful message to me. I wanted to show proper gratitude and appreciation for those messages. And that's so awesome. I was starting to craft my messages back, and it was taking me forever to get the words right. And I'm screw it. Let me just send this next person a voice note. And I sent this person a voice note, and I just like let myself go for like 20 or 30 seconds, thanking them for their message and the impact that it made on me. And, you know, basically saying a little bit about how I'm feeling right now and how I appreciate them. And boom, 20, 30 seconds later, thoughtful message blasted out to the person. And if you who are listening has sent voice messages or video messages, like, you know, the power of these things. But I learned 3 valuable lessons that day, right after my dad died. And it was, one, the power of a message where it's not just words, but where you actually hear a person or see a person. So I realized that it saved me time to just speak from my heart. Second, so it saved me time. Second, it was therapeutic for me to express myself. Like, I always feels good to express ourselves authentically. And then third, the other person could experience and connect with me. So I felt closer with them as a result of it. So it was like this really powerful exercise. And I'm like, you know what? I could totally show more appreciation for the people in my life. And there's something like this that I can just integrate as a daily practice or ritual in my life. And so I thought to myself, well, I could send a personalized video message to like some people on their birthdays, you know, on Facebook. And I decided, well, you know, if I'm going to do this, I might as well like go all in. So I decided, like, right after my dad died, I'm going to send everyone I know a personalized message on their birthday video, regardless of our relationship. And
well, if they're friends with you on Facebook, then you have a relationship, right? You're like 5,000 people. Right? That's it.
I mean,
that's a small,
you know, like,
small amount of
connected,
people.
Had some sort of shared moment or experience with this person at some point in my life, unless, you know, they just added me or I added them because thought they looked like an interesting person. You know, there were some of those people. But I remember on the first day, Alexa, seeing whose birthdays it was, and I was like, maybe I should start tomorrow. But
totally.
I did it. And I have to say, when I started sending these videos, I was so incredibly awkward. I didn't like know how to like set context. You know, I was like hitting these people up out of the blue. Like, it was not like necessarily appropriate that I was sending like a video to these random people. Like, they were like, why, what does this person want from me? Why, you know, like, why are they hitting me up? But, you know, I quickly got better at it and just learned some like really incredible lessons about the power of gratitude and showing appreciation. Now, you might think like, oh, wow, it is such a gift to give somebody else like some kind words and to let somebody else know that you're thinking about them. And like, you just want their birthday wish to come true. Like, I'm just like sending good vibes your way. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope your birthday, you know, all your wishes come true this year. But it makes me feel amazing by giving the gratitude. So,
right.
So it's like, sending these birthday videos. I've been now doing it for 4 years, just about to hit the 4-year marker. I've sent over 10,000 personalized appreciation videos to over 3,000 people. And I do it every single day. It takes me about 10 minutes a day to send the video messages and then to reply to any of the replies that I get. And it's absolutely worth it. I mean, it's been so profound.
Will you tell us some of that? Because I bet not only do you feel good, but I bet that there's been many opportunities that have actually come through because of that relationship that you've cultivated, those relationships that you've cultivated.
First, I mean, naturally, there's been a lot of opportunities that have come as a result of it, from people wanting to do business with me, which has not been the intention. But I think that like the opportunity that I want to just take a second and share about, I think it's a really important one, is as of last week, we lost another one, but I've lost 4 Facebook friends over the last 4 years. 4 of my Facebook friends have passed away in the last 4 years. And in each one of those instances, I hadn't talked to any of those people. Like, they were all from my distant past, from like high school or from college. And I'm 38, as I mentioned. So it's been a long time since I was in the same time and space as them. And because I sent them a personalized video message on their birthday or multiple years, like all 4 of them responded to at least one of the messages. 2 or 3 of the 4 people actually responded with a video message of their own. So not only did I get an opportunity to connect an additional time with this person before they passed away, but as I mentioned, in a few of these instances, I have a personalized video message from these people. So like
Wow.
when their birthday comes back around and I get notified of their birthday and I'm like, oh, you know,
Mm.
passed, I'll be able to go and
Mhm.
watch this video that they made for me, a reply to the video messages I sent them, and I get to hear their voice and get to experience them in a way that
That's so cool.
probably most people in their lives wouldn't be able to experience them in that way because they don't have like a personal acknowledgement video from that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Special, powerful
so
videos.
incredibly profound. And I think the bigger lesson here is that there are no guarantees in life. I think we're seeing that more than ever right now. And
Sure.
not only is it such an incredible gift to acknowledge another human, as we all know, we've done the work, but you may not ever have the opportunity. And if you give them that
Mm.
gift, especially in a video form, something that they
Mm.
can see, you know, over and over again on a rainy day, maybe 20 years later, to brighten them up, lift them up, it is such an incredible gift. So
It's so
it's
cool.
been the gift that keeps on giving, for sure, for me.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
also, it just showed me how much more like love and connection is available for all of us.
Oh my gosh, so true. So
Right?
true. So like I want to read one of these comments
Yeah,
because beautiful Diane Honig like wrote in and she's asking, she says, "Ooh, so it will support me in cultivating new and old relationships. And
absolutely.
is there a fee to download and maintain?" That's her
Yeah,
question.
yeah, there is a fee and it's called free. Um, it's free. It's a free app. It's for iOS only right now. So Diane, hopefully you have an iPhone. Otherwise, you might have to wait a little bit because we're not on Android yet. But yeah, it's a free service. I mean, building and sustaining our most important relationships, that should be free. So the app is going to
Wow.
be free. Eventually, there will be some, you know, bells and whistles and add-ons that do have an expense, but the core experience is going to be free because we deserve to stay connected to the people we care most about. They deserve to be celebrated on their birthdays and their anniversaries. We all get to be celebrated more than once per year on our birthdays. That
Oh my
status
gosh.
quo is friggin' ridiculous, right? There is
Yeah.
so much more love to go around, and it doesn't have to
Yes.
look like sending someone a video message. That's extreme. And that's part of the reason why in the LoveBomb app, it's like a LoveBomb is not restricted to videos. It's just like giving your kind attention to another human, period. Whether that's a
Mm.
thinking of you text, whether that's sending
Mm.
like a meme, whether that's picking up the phone and calling them, sending a voice note, it can really be anything. And for everyone tuning in today, just like think about a time in your life when you heard from someone unexpectedly and perhaps they were showering you with a huge compliment. And
Mm.
maybe this was in person. Maybe someone acknowledged you in person. Maybe, you know, you got it randomly in your DMs. Maybe you got it on your birthday. But like we remember those moments when people really see us and they really acknowledge us. And we feel that way about other people. And I think that
Mm.
oftentimes, you know, we remember that we need to follow our heart in our lives.
Mm. Mhm.
But it's also equally as important as following our heart is sharing our hearts.
Mm. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, and I love that this is like literally like fostering a culture of more connection, more giving, more communication. I mean, I take the communication and just like the beautiful relationships around me for granted because I like as you, like we've both been in a bubble of transformation for many years, and now being a center owner, like I'm just surrounded by people who are living in their vision. And I know that quickly when you go out into the real world, like that's actually not how the overall population is living. And it's like, wow, how do we support others to step into this possibility of the way that life can be?
Yeah,
And
that's a great
yeah,
question.
so that is a great question. So we need
Um,
all the ways.
yeah, I mean, I've learned so many lessons in developing this app and researching the app in terms of understanding why it's not already this way and like what
Mm,
stands in the gap, what's the obstacle between where we're at today and creating a more connected and kinder world. And the reality is, you know, we kind of do what other people are doing. We follow other people's lead and follow social cues as a result of that. So that's one of them. But, you know, also we're very busy people. We have a lot going
mm,
on in our lives,
yeah.
and we can always easily let keeping in touch with people we care about, fall to the bottom of our to-do list. Oh, I've got all these other things that, are urgent. I got urgent deadlines. We might think to ourselves like, oh, I want to reach out to that person, but like,
I'll do it later.
Yeah, it needs to be a half-hour conversation, or
yes. Oh my gosh, so much.
Or like, oh, I just like didn't even know it was like my parents' anniversary. Oops. Or something along the lines of like not knowing what to say. Like wanting to reach out to someone, but just not knowing what to say. I still feel that from time to time, and I've developed a whole app about it. Or lastly, and I think the biggest one is just the fear of rejection. It takes.
But we kind of reject ourselves. I feel like we pre-reject ourselves because nobody else is like, oh, why are you reaching out to me? It's like us being like, oh, I'm not worthy to reach out to you, so I'm just not going to do it.
Bingo. Yeah. Bingo. So I want to give an example on that. But yes, it's the fear of rejection. It requires courage and vulnerability to reach out to someone. Now, there's some people who you just like are so confident. We're so confident about our relationships with them that we know we could reach out to them at any day, at any time, and like they would love to hear from us. But then there's other people that maybe, there's just a seedling of doubt that pops in. We don't want to say the wrong thing. Is this the right time? Am I going to be a burden? And oftentimes, as you mentioned, it's the self-sabotage in our minds. At that point, we're thinking from a place of fear instead of from a place of like, oh, I actually love this person. I think
how can I make a difference?
I think they're so awesome. And I just want to I'm just going to reach out to them and let them know that, hey, I thought of you. And not only did I think of you, but I was just thinking of like how inspiring you are. Like I watched your video on Facebook and it like literally like pumped me up. I just wanted to let you know.
Awesome.
Such an incredible gift. No one doesn't want to hear that. Right? No one doesn't want to like have an authentic acknowledgement. It does have to be authentic, but no one doesn't want to have that. And I think what's interesting is that with so many things in our lives, we have all of these tools to help us out. Like if we want to like get to a place we've never been to before, or even if we go to a place that we go to all the time, but we want the best way to get there, we open up Waze, right? And Waze helps guide us. But when it comes to our relationships, we go by strictly our emotions. And our emotions, as we all know, are like farts. They're full of insecurity. Sometimes we're feeling confident and on top of the world. And, sometimes we're maybe feeling isolated or disconnected. And what happens when we feel like isolated and disconnected? We feel alone. We feel disconnected from others, maybe a little bit less confident than we normally would. And it's even harder then to reach out to other people when we're so like lost in the story in our head. And so there's all these tools out there to support us in all these other areas in our life. Like think about like in sports, in baseball, for example, I love this metaphor, but if there's a player who's at bat, who like consistently hits the ball in the exact same location, the team that's in the field playing defense moves their whole team to where statistically the batter is going to hit the ball in most likelihood. But we don't have that for our personal relationships. So that is a big part of LoveBomb is it's like, all right, who are the people I care about? How often do I want to keep in touch with them? And like, here are daily suggestions, kind of like you go into Netflix and you see daily suggestions of movies to watch. Like, here are 5 people you could reach out to today based off of your own algorithm of people you want to connect with.
That you haven't reached out to in a while, that haven't heard from you. There's a special, okay. Cool.
Yeah, and if there's birthdays, those are flagged as special dates, and then you can click on it and gives you all these ideas of what to say in case you don't know, and then you blast out the love bomb and get to create instant connection as a result.
Okay, and they don't have to have the LoveBomb app too, obviously, right? It goes directly to their phone or something like that?
Yep. So it's a social utility. They don't have to be on the app. They don't even necessarily need to know that you're even using an app. It's just a tool for you to, to build and deepen your most important connections, your business connections, your familial connections. And you send the messages however you would normally communicate with this person. Email, WhatsApp, text, Facebook Messenger, whatever it may be.
Cool. So it syndicates to all of those. That's so good. Yeah. I love it.
Thanks.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and download that, and you're gonna be hearing from me on the LoveBomb app, Mark Shapiro, and all of you listening. Yeah, and I think our community will absolutely love it too, because we all need support in staying connected. It's challenging to have as many awesome people in your life as each of us are exposed to through this work. So thank you for finding a solution there, and also a way to potentially support others who are not in this work
For
to
sure.
also get into that habit as well.
Totally.
So
It's a muscle like anything else. I wasn't confident when I started sending these love bombs at the start. And like I said, I'm super extreme. That might not feel authentic for you. And I respect that. And to that, if the app doesn't have the tools that you want and you need, let me know what it is that you do want and what you do need. It's been the name Love Bomb has proved to be the perfect name for this tool. And with that said, I am one person, and the people who are on the platform, they're individually, they have their own social needs, and I want this to be a tool that works for everyone. So I want to make it the best that it can be, and I would love your feedback as to what works and maybe what doesn't work for you, so we can make it even better.
Awesome. And how can people stay connected to you? What are your social media handles where people can follow your journey and check out what you're up to? Because you've been up to cool things for many years now. So
Thanks, Alexa. Appreciate it. And
yeah,
likewise.
thanks.
My Instagram is @areyoubeingreel, fully spelled out. And then we've got a new fun account for LoveBomb @lovebomb.app. So similar to the website. I think you'll nail the spelling next time, Alexa.
Double P, double
yeah,
P.
@lovebomb.app. And I'm really jazzed about it. It's like really fun for me. But I write every morning. It's like a daily ritual to do this as well. I make like a little meme of a kind thing, a kind message to say to someone. So there's all these kind messages, and they're all the types of messages that might lift you up, but then you can also share with somebody else. So you can essentially drop a love bomb through Instagram.
I love it. Okay, awesome. We're dropping love bombs. Thank you so much, Mark, for sharing with us this evening and spreading a little love. And yeah, and looking forward to seeing what you come up with next. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you so much for having me, Alexa. Just love what you do, what you stand for, your leadership at Next Level. It's so important. And if it's not us, who's it going to be? So we have an amazing opportunity, and time is now with everything that we're experiencing in the world. So I just want to thank you, Alexa, for always showing up so big and kindly, and for everyone tuning in to be the kind of person that actually gives up. Beep, beep. You're awesome, and I appreciate you, and I acknowledge you.
Thank you so much, Mark.